So what's next?
What's next? I'm gonna yawn. Okay.
What's next? Nap time.
Next nap time would be nice.
And the word of the
no,
cast is
okay.
going to be haha.
Yes.
Didn't you
There
get a
you
word
go.
for yawn recently?
Kar tehusahaya.
Welangate kame mafrapo, and welcome to the Animokri podcast. We got an episode here for you today. In this episode, we're going to be talking about two things. First, the latest information we have about the Pandora Rising mobile game, as well as a leak of a upcoming graphic novel, Avatar: The High Ground. I need help doing that because I can't do that myself as just Dominic. So here we also have Dunayayo,
Mafrapo.
Awe,
Kal
and Willem.
Galte.
And as a heads up, because it is inevitable, the recording schedule has been very screwy and we've had a lot of delays. So whenever this episode gets to you, please do not be surprised at its proximity to the previous episode. With that out of the way,
Life tends to get in the way.
I'll fully admit to having edited last episode like the Thursday before we recorded, which is Sunday. So yeah, we're doing an amazing job here. We're doing our best. Anyway,
Professional podcast.
professional grade. Before we get too off topic, let's go right to the matter at hand. So first up, the Avatar Pandora Rising mobile game has been available in Southeast Asia regions for early testing for a while now, but as of about a week ago, it was made available to Canadian regions as well to test. This includes nobody on this cast. However, we do have things from the Southeast Asia and New Zealand area test. We've learned some information. We've got some screenshots, and we've learned more about how the game works. And again, people who have played this game includes no one on this cast. However, we've been in a community with people who have. So the first thing I want to bring up is the artwork of the game. It looks pretty good.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised at the amount of effort actually put into the splash art, the character shots. It's almost something you'd expect from something more like Magic the Gathering or a card game.
Yeah, actually, you do have a point there. It is very Magic the Gathering like. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw these on trading cards like that.
Right. Well, that is something that we see increasingly from gacha games, is that the items that you earn in some way, shape, or form are very akin to trading cards. They usually have like a card-like profile to them, and they're also intended to fill up a modern mobile screen, which is high pixel density, therefore you need high resolution art. And as you increase the resolution of art, you tend to have to increase the quality necessarily. But the other thing about it is most art produced for Avatar properties tends to be fairly well done, because that's part of the thing about Avatar. Like, it's this beautiful world, and that's one of the big draws and things that people remember about it. So they obviously need to weigh their resources towards making pretty art.
Yeah, you'd think. And I'll have to bring this up later when we talk about another recent development in Avatar news, but it seems that not everyone believes in making good-looking Avatar-related art.
Well, I think you're referring to the comics. So, about the comic art.
Yeah, as we've seen, we have the covers from the Tsutei's Path series. We have the alternate covers for, collector's editions, stuff like that. And none of them really stick out to me. Like, they all are very technically good on the as far as things like anatomy and perspective and composition goes. Composition a little less so than those other two, But the thing is that the colors suffer immensely. And I thought this was originally because of gamut proofing, because of the limitations when printing something. I thought that was weird because, mostly these comics are going to be bought digitally rather than physical copies. Um,
Right.
but
Says the guy who only owns physical copies.
Same here.
Hey, I'm part of that club.
well, at least you're very dedicated to giving James Cameron money. Um,
You're damn right.
no, right?
Take
yeah.
my money.
Give
Shut
us
up and take
more
my money,
Avatar
yes.
stuff, Cameron Daddy.
Please.
You're our mama bird. Feed us those sweet, sweet Avatar succulents. Anyhow. Oh my god, stop. What was I even saying? Yeah, Avatar, the colors on the comic covers are very, very bland. Almost seemingly combined retro, like 80s style coloring, but also something that has been sun bleached since the 80s. Like,
Huh.
it's that kind of feel where the colors aren't as vibrant, the color schemes aren't as dynamic, and the palettes just don't mimic the feeling of Avatar very well. Which is really strange because Avatar was probably the most colorful movie in the last 20 years. We've been going through this kind of cinematic drought of color with like the rise of like the whole Chris Nolan film where everything is super desaturated and gritty and dark and everything like that.
Right.
Which I mean that definitely has its place. That place is not in Avatar. And I've seen other comic covers and other comic cover artists that have pulled this off better, this bright, vibrant feeling, and I feel like it's just a hiring, just kind of a personnel accident that they picked the wrong people to portray Avatar through comics.
Do you have the
I
physical
think-
or the digital version?
Oh yeah, I've got the digital version.
So because I have the physical version, I actually don't really agree with your assessment that the colors are bland on the cover. I think yes, they are bland, but I mean every printed piece of artwork is more bland than if you would just paint it. I think if I compare like for example, I have here issue 6 of Today's Path. The cover is just as vibrant as other pieces of printed media I have in my bookshelf. So it might actually be that maybe the digital conversion made it bland looking in some way. But yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
that the
I was
physical
gonna say
release
some-
looks really bad.
I'm holding one of the issue 5, and I have the similar idea. Yeah.
So here's I'm gonna sort of bring some peace to this conversation. So I've seen Dio. I've seen some of the cover art color adjustments that you've shared on the Learn Nafi community Discord. Hey, guys should join that. But
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
hint, hint. And yes, the ones that you have done, I definitely can agree that some of the colors look a little muted, or they can look a little desaturated. But I don't agree with that for every single one of the covers. There's definitely I'd say it's like
There is
50-50.
one or two.
There's
Yeah.
definitely a couple of them that look a little bit more muted or like softer, and they don't look quite right. But I can't say that about every single one, especially the ones that Willem mentioned. For example, the issue 6's variant cover,
Yeah, issue 6 is pretty good.
the fours non-variant. Actually, the 4 variant as well looks pretty great. I actually really liked issues 1 and 2's covers. I thought, though they weren't quite the exact shade of Nuffy blue, I felt like it was still a cool representation for it to be very bright and saturated.
I do think
so.
when you're talking about Na'vi blue, side discussion, I think the Na'vi in the comics are generally a bit too blue. As in, I feel in the movie they sometimes have a more like greenish tint, which they seem to lack
Oh,
in the
definitely.
comics.
Definitely. They're very like RGB blue in the comics where they're just like, blue value equals 100.
Yeah.
Like hexadecimal blue, and that just kind of really is it doesn't capture the color palette, the because colors convey emotions, you know. And I feel like the color balance of the movies conveyed the emotion and the feeling of Avatar a lot better than some of the comics do. And I do like the pencilists and the line art and stuff like that. They did a very good job, but I feel like the colorist could have used a bit more reference from the films, or I don't know what. I feel like the most egregious example of this is the cover for the new Avatar comic, The High Ground, that has just been soft announced. Um, can you guys tell me exactly where this was first found out?
Sure.
So on.
So I can introduce this segment since it's a big important part of this cast.
Right.
So several weeks ago, there was a Amazon UK listing for a graphic novel called Avatar: The High Ground. I will now read the full product description. James Cameron's screenplay, The High Ground, was intended to be the first sequel to the biggest blockbuster of all time, Avatar. Discarded in favor of other ideas, the original screenplay is being adapted into a 3-part graphic novel series. It has been almost a decade since the humans were forced to leave Pandora, but now they're returning with an armada of heavily armed starships. After years of peace, Jake Sully has settled down with Neytiri and raised a family, so for him, the stakes are even higher than when he first went to war against the corporate might of the RDA. Adapted for comics by award-winning author Sherry Smith, and illustrated by Brazilian artist Guilherme Balbi, Avatar: The High Ground Volume 1 Advent to War ventures into all-new territory in the Avatar saga and is a direct prequel to next year's release of the film Avatar 2. End description. The product was listed as pre-order only, as expected to be released January 23rd, 2020, making its description of next year's release of Avatar 2 actually accurate because it's going to be released at the tail end of 2021. Since this is a 3-part graphic novel series, one could expect it to be basically released in parts throughout 2020. And since these are the first issue is listed as 96 pages, one could expect that they would be longer between releases than the Tsute's Path comics. But yes, so we've got this product description which says, hey, there's going to be 3 of these. They're graphic novels, and it's called Avatar: The High Ground. And we also got a cover art for Volume 1.
Which I'm super excited for. I'm definitely looking forward to more lore post Avatar 1. This is our first glimpse at what is probably going to happen or lead up to the sequels.
Yeah, without a doubt, this is the most important new Avatar canon that isn't a movie.
Yeah, it's been a content drought, man. It's been so long. Oh, James Cameron has finally come back, our Lord and Savior, giving us more lore.
He wrote this a long time ago. Like, this is an ancient script being resurrected and slightly reformatted to accommodate whatever twists and reveals are going to actually happen in the sequels. But yes, the idea was this was originally going to be Avatar 2.
Yes, so basically this means that we are now getting a new part of the story, which is all canon, and which you've basically been waiting for since Avatar 1. Because even if the actual Avatar 2 is going to be something different, we're still going to get this original story. So I'm really excited for this, and I'm really hoping that it actually will release in January, although I doubt it, because at this point in time, the advertisement on Amazon has been removed, right?
Yes, it was removed a couple of days later.
So then, for me, the first question is this a leak? Or is this someone made a mistake? Or is this someone did this on purpose to trigger fans? Or
So I can give a little bit of insight into what happens because I'm somewhat involved in the industry of releasing media. So there's a whole process that you have to go into to release something, be it like a video game, a book, a movie. There's this process where you need to, for example, for printed media, you have to have an ISBN number. So you need to submit a request is like, hey, here, I need a number to uniquely identify this piece of work. Publishers, between publishers, distributors, and the creators of the media, there's all sorts of communication channels, and they're not always totally in sync. Again, there's a lot of steps that need to go into to a publication like this. So what inevitably happened was Amazon is too big to manually list everything. Everything is basically automated, and the publishers or content creators or producers of stuff, they are in charge of creating or submitting Amazon listings. And so this listing needed to be made at some point, and it's usually advantageous to do the stuff before you actually announce. So when you do announce, you can immediately have everything go live all at once at the flip of a switch. But if you don't specify exactly when the publication is supposed to go live, it will just default to automatically publish now. So what probably happened was they didn't have the actual announcement date, or they announced it early or something. And when they went to go submit the Amazon listing, they either didn't have that information or neglected to put that in. And so it just by default was live instead of hidden.
Right.
And then once it was discovered, it was then probably re-hidden. They just went through the listing entry and were like, oh, hide this until some other future date.
But that does mean
Right.
that it's actually likely that the information given will be correct. So that also
Yes.
implies that likely the
There-
January date could actually be correct.
Exactly. This is this is why there was talk about like, is this like, was this scooped up and then like, oh wait a second, we need to adjust the dates because the film was delayed or
Yes,
whatever.
that
Like,
actually seems
this was
likely to
this
be
was
at
a
the time,
recent
yeah.
this was a recently produced work. Like the slip up with the Amazon listing was that it was not hidden. Not that it was made or that the information presented was inaccurate. So yeah, this is definitely happening, and I wouldn't even be remotely surprised if the release date that they gave of January, was it 23rd, late January, I wouldn't be at all surprised if that is totally actually what's going to really happen.
Nice.
Cool.
To give some other context to releases from Dark Horse vis-a-vis Avatar, the Tsute's Path collection, where they're basically going to combine all the issues of the comic as well as the Free Comic Book Day comic from a couple years ago. That's expected to be released in December. It was originally scheduled for November, but it was pushed back. So that's coming out December, so that's going to be a publication, and I wouldn't be surprised if, like, at the same time when this is coming out, around the holidays, they're saying, hey, by the way, starting next year, there's going to be another thing, and that's our next Avatar project. Because again, this is being produced by Dark Horse Comics, or at least published by them, and has the same writer as on Tsute's Path.
Right.
So I wouldn't be surprised if as soon as Tsute's Path wrapped up, they just immediately started working on this.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. The only thing that I lament is, once again, the cover art. And this is very hard to discuss in a non-visual medium such as podcasts. But
yeah, we can. Well, for those watching the video, we can put up a video thing right here of the. We can probably have the cover art up this entire time if we so desire.
Cool technology.
Yeah, I just need to
love
remember
technology.
to tell Yana to do that this time.
Nice.
But anyway, yeah. So if you actually, for those who are playing along at home and don't have a visual format, if you go to the Avatar wiki, Avatar fandom wiki, we actually have there's a page on there that has the full product description as well as the image of the comic. So all that information is available. The Amazon listing didn't vanish without a trace. So.
Right. This.
But anyway, yeah, the
saddens me
cover art is pretty
because-
muted.
Yeah, this saddens me because as an Avatar fan, as all of us here are Avatar fans, we are
I'm not
no
speak
doubt
for
going to
yourself.
pick up this. Why are you even here then? Get out. We're all going to pick up this comic, no doubt. The thing is, what about people that aren't into Avatar fans, or probably latent Avatar fans, or Avatar fans that just haven't been made yet? People walking through the comic book store or scrolling through Amazon, the first thing they see is this comic cover, and you can find multiple issues of Conan the Barbarian that are, from the 1980s and have more vibrant color schemes than this, more appealing visual design. And it just kind of saddens me that it's not putting its best foot forward to draw in as much of a new crowd as possible.
But again, let me ask: are you reading those digitally or physically? Because again, I think it might be the case that they just did a poor job at the digital conversion with color spaces. I mean, we are now seeing for the high ground, we are seeing an Amazon low resolution, rather low resolution preview, which has been through I don't know how many color space conversions at this point. So it might be that, again, the physical comic release is much better, and then it is of course still annoying that the digital one is not as vibrant as it could have been. But I don't think this. I'm worrying so much about this at this point.
I'm going to wait until I have it in my hands to judge the color quality on it, because it's very easily in the way that images are passed around and uploaded and re-uploaded and recompressed and changing file formats repeatedly for colors and fidelity to be lost. The Amazon listing itself is by default a very low resolution image. Amazon, because there's so much stuff on there, they use very low quality JPEGs as a rule of thumb.
But the thing is, it's not the actual resolution that is the problem. It's the color.
JPEGs, when you convert to JPEG, you actually you can experience loss of color as well.
Interesting.
And also color
especially in the way that I keep saying Avatar when I mean Amazon. Especially in the way that Amazon compresses stuff. They have very lossy, and on both video and images, they have lossy colors.
Interesting.
It's just the compression algorithm just kind of sucks.
Yeah. That said, I think this will be comparable to some of the more muted covers that we saw from Tsute's Path. If I were to bring in an example of a cover that I think is going to have a similar color intensity, I'd say the variant cover for 2 might be a good comparison to make. I have a feeling it's going to be similar to that, but yeah, no, I get what you're saying, where it's oh, this isn't a very bright or vibrant cover, but I think it's also important to remember that if as you said, sleeping Avatar fans or people who aren't Avatar fans yet or really haven't seen the first film, this is connecting the events between 2 movies. And I can't think of a time when a piece of connecting tissue media, like an ancillary, oh, here's the book that explains the prequel or whatever.
Right.
I've never
DLC.
been oh, this is what got me into something or another. It's going to be the blockbuster film, the one that was previously the highest grossing film of all time, or the sequels, which are going to be released very frequently and heavily marketed when their time comes.
Yeah. I guess it's just the pedantic or perfectionist artist in me that just wants to be a little snob about everything.
Possibly. Your criticism
nothing
is valid.
wrong with that. Although I will note something that I just found out. So I think you mentioned that it's a different artist, of course.
Yeah, Guillermo
doing
Belbi.
it too. Well, I found out that the one who did Tsute's Path also a lot of his credits come from Star Wars comics.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that a lot better, because his seems to be more suited to what I've seen of what is expected of a Star Wars comic.
I was gonna say, from as far as I'm aware, half of the Star Wars movies take place on a desert planet. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
I would encourage everyone, but especially you, Tayo, to look over the Guillermo's art on, if you just do like a Google search. I actually looked it up like before doing
really
this
should.
cast. It's actually got really good stuff. I mean, we know it's gonna be a 90-some page graphic novel, so fully expect it to be black and white, and that does seem to be Guillermo's MO.
Yeah.
So, but it does really good art. He's done a lot of work for like Marvel and stuff. So
Nice. Yeah, like I said, I'm still going to buy it.
Yeah, no.
Would like
I don't think there's a
to.
person here that's not gonna buy it.
Right, yeah. Would like to try and lure in, get as many people surprise addicted to Avatar as quickly as possible.
right, I just don't think that this graphic novel is going to be a popular entrance point into Avatar.
Yeah, you're definitely not going to see people in droves coming to learn Na'vi because they read Sute's Path or The High Ground.
Yeah,
Yeah, especially a lot of the time, comic books tend to be pretty niche, anyways. Like they tend to be liked by the people who are already fans of that thing.
Yeah.
Like I
or
would say
comic
that the
book
vast,
people.
yeah, I would say that the vast majority of people who become new comic book collectors, like for example, new Batman comic collectors, probably started by watching the Batman movies first,
Yeah,
just because those tend to be much more accessible.
definitely.
But we also have one other thing that we found out.
the visual celebration.
Yeah,
That's pretty old news, and we don't even that's like been in content limbo for almost like a year and a half.
nobody's going to talk about how it says it has a preview of a new Avatar era.
It said that since it was originally listed like a year ago.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So the
I
thing
didn't
we're
realize
referen-
it was released that long ago.
The thing-
I thought it was more recent.
Oh
I
no
didn't even know about
This
it,
is
so-
this is
Yeah.
very old. We actually talked about this on the like one of the first episodes of the cast.
We did? Really?
Huh.
Then I forgot about it again.
Yeah, I did too.
It
Because I know
almost kind of-
I know the art of Avatar is already something that exists.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, it
we,
almost
we,
kinda
we
looks
definitely
like that.
mentioned this. So the thing that we were talking about, the World of Avatar, a visual celebration, which was listed like almost a year ago, but is now slated for October of 2020. When it was originally listed, it was slated for I think October or November of this year of 2019. And this was back when the films were expected to be released in 2020. But now this has been pushed to a year later along with the film. So, but yeah, this listing has existed for a while.
Gotcha. Still excited about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, it's exciting. It's cool. It basically looks like a version. It's going to be ASG2, but not trying so hard to be in universe and probably not making up things.
I hope so.
Because ASG was, for all intents and purposes, an art book that was like hidden as
need it.
all. It was like masquerading as a lore book.
Yeah, it was like an ARG without any ARG elements.
It was an ARG without the G
Yeah.
or the R.
Oh my god.
I'm going to completely butcher this pronunciation, but we definitely need our own version of the Silmarillion. Have you heard of the Silmarillion?
Yes.
Yes, it's
Because
great.
I worked on a Lord of the Rings video game for about a year, and
Wait.
that is how I know everything I know about the Lord of the Rings, which is almost nothing.
Wait. You've worked on a lot of Rings video game. How comes we only hear about this now? I
Because
want to
it
know
wasn't
about
very
I want to know
good, and-
everything about this.
It wasn't very good, and nobody played it.
Aw, is it still online?
No. Well, okay, it was online, and now it isn't because nobody plays it. So
That's so sad.
it was Guardians of Middle Earth. It was the Lord of the Rings themed MOBA, the League of Legends clone, for consoles.
yeah.
It was
I
the-
heard of that.
It was like the first like big console MOBA, and for being a console MOBA, it did pretty good. But the thing is, it was a Lord of the Rings tie-in, so it only had so much of a broad appeal. I thought the game itself was pretty good, but But I'm also biased because
Right.
I worked on it. But again, nobody played it, and it's not really worth mentioning because like the servers are now offline for it, so you like can't even really play it.
So
You just do the tutorial mode over and over.
So basically, to put us back from completely off topic to slightly off topic, a random thing I just noticed in the pictures that Amazon has available for the visual celebration. There's some text you can read already of this book, and there's
Yes.
this interesting quote which shows that maybe the Na'vi still needs some, like the Na'vi language still needs some working on, because it says about the Hallelujah Mountains, have led the Na'vi to call these marvels Airam Alusing, or Thundering Rocks. That doesn't seem to be accurate.
Well, I mean, the translation's not correct, but the text itself is.
Well, I mean, the capitalization should be on Ram and Lusing, right? Because I doesn't get capitalized. Here they just capitalized like they would.
I'm
in
not here.
English.
I'm not here to tell people how Na'vi should be capitalized.
That is true. I'm happy to.
For those who are curious, the official one is camel case.
I like this aspect of Na'vi, but it doesn't matter. I mean, I don't complain about this. I do complain about translating it with Thundering Rocks because it's just not correct. So I'm hoping
Yeah.
that at some point Cargo Powell will have a look at this.
Okay. Well, it's not even in production yet and won't be released until like this time next year. So there's time. There's still time.
Yeah, sure. At least,
Hardcover books are not printed a year in advance.
at least they call the Torhoek just Torhoek and not whatever they call it in the dictionary as the English name, which
Leonopteryx.
Yeah, that's its scientific name.
I cannot pronounce that. I think Torhoek is much nicer, and I'm happy they just say Torhoek here.
Right.
I can only pronounce Leonopteryx because I spent
Oh
some
my
time
God.
working at a dinosaur museum.
Nice. Man,
Wow,
we're
so
learning
like-
so much about all your origin stories.
I mean, we were talking about comics, so what's a discussion about comics without origin stories?
We need a spin-off comic for each and every cast member on this podcast.
Lord, no.
Ayana Moktekomi. Ayana Airal.
Funny story. I was actually working at that museum when they announced the new pterosaur that was named after Avatar, but then they named it poorly.
Oof.
It's part of the genus Ikran Draco, which is pretty awesome. Until I tell you the species name, which is just straight up Avatar.
Oh god.
Gross.
And I'm
Oh,
like, damn it, you were so close.
I guess they found Unialterantok too hard to pronounce.
I'm instantly getting flashbacks of every awful article I've ever read that refers to the Na'vi as avatars.
Oh man. Ouch.
It,
But the good news is that this celebration of Avatar, visual celebration of Avatar, has the word Omaticaya in it, and it's actually spelled with a K, not a C.
Oh,
Yeah.
indeed. Cool.
True.
Yeah, and as I've mentioned before on the cast, I think you're not going to see another ASG style thing because now that it's a full-fledged franchise and 2 films have been shot already, they're taking their canon very seriously.
I hope so.
Although
I know so.
although I do maintain that Omaticaya spelled with a C can just be like the English version. So
Yeah, that too.
I think that's the canon, if I remember.
I believe the canon.
It still triggers me though.
Oh no, it does me too.
Anyway, so speaking of the Na'vi language and correctly pronouncing and spelling it, as always, we end every cast with the Na'vi language practice.
Wait, you want us to be
Hold up,
correct?
hold up. Don't give them the precursor of correct pronunciation, all right? Let's
Speaking of failing to pronounce things,
yeah.
Excuse me, I was holding you all to a higher standard.
yeah,
I think
Dominic is the chief correspondent of segues. Okay, he can
Sivako.
segue however he wants.
I appreciate it, but I just don't want to let people down.
Speaking of letting people down, this episode is sponsored by. No.
Viagra. What?
Oh my god.
It was there. I had to. I'm sorry.
Every blue person needs a blue pill.
Speaking of
so-
things we need to cut out of the episode,
And now for another segue. No.
Oh, I've literally fallen underneath my desk.
I think I've clipped my mic about 30 times this episode with laughter.
That's fine.
yeah, I'm sorry for
Future me will have to suffer.
We've destroyed your podcast.
My podcast.
This is our podcast.
Yeah.
Oh,
With
we've
Dominic.
only failed ourselves.
But Parmarek is
Au,
the
nah.
Olo Ekdaan.
Veri ektano. Kelu olo ektan. Speaking of the Navi language, we're going to now proceed with our usual end of episode Navi language conversation practice. This conversation practice is brought to you by the word hahau, I believe. Is that
Yep,
is that
I'll buy
really
that one.
is that really the word we're gonna go with?
What
That's what
about
I'm going with.
Okie dokie.
what about ange?
What
Ange.
word?
Intransitive verb to yawn.
Oh yeah, kange.
It's me.
No. I think we can do slightly better than hahao and kange.
Oh god.
Look, I already have to edit this segment as it is, so let's just figure out what our word is going to be.
This episode is made possible by listeners
Viewers
like
like
you.
God. Missing context.
PBS is a beautiful channel.
How about Juan?
One
To
as in
hide.
hide.
You mean ow?
Juan. Tanga.
Dude, I love Juan. He's a great guy. I'm sorry.
Funny story.
You just need to say
Last
funny
week,
story and I start
couldn't do
laughing.
the podcast because I was at a Mexican dinner and I made guacamole that impressed the hell out of everybody there that was Mexican. So I am proud of myself
Because it was good or because it was bad?
because it was good.
Okay,
Thankfully.
well done.
Tex-Mex and proud.
Yeah. Anyways.
I think we now have like opening segments for the next 10 episodes.
Yeah. You're gonna just want to put these in a folder labeled cold opens.
I don't squirrel away cold openings like I use them.
You
as
do
the-
now.
No. You don't edit the cast. You don't tell me how to edit your cast. I don't own this cast, but I own the editing, and I'm gonna draw a line there. Only the freshest cold openings.
He's got
Speaking of
one
the
job
word
on
gather,
this lousy ship.
We could use sound
Or Star Sim.
or star sims. Run.
So, actually, let's use sound because it is in the Americas and I believe everywhere in the northern hemisphere it is autumn, and so
Ziskar sound.
Let me just look outside. I mean, it rains. The trees are all messed up, so yes. Agreed.
Cool. We're gonna have our episode of the cast be Ziskar sound.
Entered the sentence. It was like, screw it.
Yeah, it's like I could fix this, but I don't care.
Oh god.
Editing this is going to be really interesting because I need to figure
I
out what
am
I'm leaving in
genuinely
and what
sorry.
I'm taking out and where I'm moving it and what I'm doing with my life.
Future Pounder's gonna be like, God, damn it.
What the fuck?
Fantastic.
How long have you been waiting?
There's your cold open. You are welcome.
How long have you been waiting with that beep sound?
You have no idea.
I don't.
I bought that like a month and a half ago. And I haven't been on a cast since.
Oh my god.
I just bounded to a key and was like, I'm gonna do this at some point.
Oh. Sound.
Aha, we're going to begin with our Nafi language practice, which we do at the end of every episode. This week's word of the cast is Ziskerzaun, or fall, or autumn, the season of harvesting. Etymology comes from Zisikr, or part time of the year, plus saun, a verb to gather growing food or pick or harvest agriculture. With that said, we're not experts. We're going to make mistakes, but we're practicing and we're getting better. So thank you for joining us in this practice. Ha sivako.
Aha, swelu to anga people said,
Srane.
he said.
Zisker sauneri aingaru or kolanoe engaru zisker saun beulu.
Peu, Srak.
Lue nulneo or nulneo we ziskertzaun frato zisikreya.
Ningai, Srak.
Sunungaru zisker saun frato.
Sran.
Tam.
Ningai,
Belun.
Srak.
Belun sunungaru.
Dalun filiu alu colors.
Iopin srak.
Like Iopin saululeu. Dalun Iopin lu nadlonitan.
Ipulueru fwa potenga deri iopin anker. Sra kesmon wat kesmon ngaru talu.
Airik se ayutral lu nadlonitan sakr lu ziskrtzaun. Ziskrtzaun.
Aiutra se Airik lu narlor a fe uri multeoe sle nifketungai kesunueru fe sisikr taluna lu wel ut tompa zup anker
Sran.
sunueru siskruel frato taluna
Mefe zisker zene zivup airek se tompa. Niteng.
Srane Airik zup niteng.
Sunu smon weru tsate efu. Ke sunu weru fwa tompa aweu zeru. Sra sunu weru nit an tompa. Zisker some tompa lu swe.
Strane.
Multeoe.
Sakar
Jalu soma krr.
FO en denk
Tompa.
sakar ja som leu.
Ja, som lengu kolan strak.
Som lengu.
Yeah.
Som
Ja,
lengu pak.
som Leo.
Lengu pak.
Och det painga Leo.
Fe udut ding
Hasunu
esik.
weru.
Taluna kro feat keme jalu som a fe u kesunu veru. Ulte to ja kelifu som sa krr tompasu. Ulte kesunu veru tsau niteng. A kesunu veru kea jafcake.
Kesunu ngaru tsatsang sora?
Kesunu veru jafcake wejat keje. Get tsau kalungai.
Tutsam.
Sle lu ayatr a tompa zup anker. Ulte kesunu veru tsau. Ulte set au nga lerauk jafcake it kefjak. Pelun. Tsau lu kane kefjak.
Anelufwa Sunufgoru Livau Jafkekti. Wedi Ziskur Saun Ral Lufwa Zerau Zisikr Eift Oza, yeah. Jetin.
Lungai.
Firtosa Aslu Halloween English.
Strane Oza Asnozia.
Strane Yomtip. Yomtip.
Ayatsie.
Sie.
Efu fmok ni italuna waya atkeme fko saft oze kasi.
Keft
Lungai.
Keft.
Eltur tit ensi waru eltur wia tit ensi fwa Europa me saft oza ke si kautu.
Kautu kolan hola tute. Spelo el futa nisok hola tute saft oze si taluna USA tu za u fitsengne.
Strane zera uca saft oza Europa ftu.
Ningai strak.
Nitsim, strane, nitsim.
Kaolomum taluna spelo el futa lungazik fwa wake diving. Awa fu munea kintr mau fift oze alu Halloween. Fkeito fift oze tip alahe. Go oze si fitseng.
Tam. Nisung zera u aift oze ziskerwewe.
Sana sunu veru nit aan. Waya at keme fkeito fift oze alu me desnga I vos pe asian sisite afko sjau Sinterklaas och det sakr exempel kresima se sisita mip sunumeru it aan. Och det därför sunumeru ziskrweu frato. Taluna fkotsun Keteng Soraya hu Sailahe.
Saif oze fa ziskerweu sun livu tsuntivam.
Tsuntivam.
Vecke wel te weuti.
Aha,
Efu enetengfia.
Kelkusi nga me anloke a som mat awe. Ra'a people eteri.
Sarane.
Ra'a livau te weuti.
Kelku a ngai we kelku a ngai we tatsengit alu Ohio.
Tam.
Dangok.
Dango. Strane zola u ftu sing as sim alu Michigan. Taluna
Manuel Roots.
Taluna vecchio the wealthy.
Kolan Michigan Shrek?
Michigan. Michigan.
Michigan.
Mid chicken. Mm.
Michigan. Michigan.
Mejajo dan.
Så har jag tatsengit rangok bak
Michigan alu mifa yayotsip.
Ngal feke soajat Israq.
Soja.
Okej.
Vecchi tatsengit alu Michigan.
Tam. Slå.
Michigan.
Soja vi Michiganti to slä kesunu foru the wealthy neteng. Slä
Hapelun.
Can eu festival Taluna Luno.
Oh, Sivo.
Taluna Luno. Luno Talun.
Siltsana Lun.
Okay. Soja fe Michiganti tog neteng. Ha soja we Michiganti tog Taluna feia soja Michiganti tog.
Frappolt ook Michigan die. Michigan
Strane.
die.
Keo mom well denk tapelun.
Taluna what's yep.
Michigan. Ohio.
Taluna samo feia simpul. Det gankem CV misled.
Tam.
Where so I holum zakar toilet au.
Maar Pamarik strak ngapelt en i Michigan.
Fjappe.
Na Michigan. Ne Michigan. Ngapelt en na sute af du Michigan. Så lamstrak.
Slolatsam. Vkopivelt san Michigan.
Michelin.
Gekkolan whatsa.
Michigan?
Nije fja o appelt
Nije
Englese. Peu?
Strane, slolamo kautua ke to Michiganti ketsun pivot sko oti aitsrai Michigania taluna Pamrelfia straja Michigania ke vengu.
Nat kanon.
Hai sute atog Michiganti pult na sute atog Minnesota ti.
Kro.
Golan weha soaya.
Unlock it.
Tsafia.
Unlock we Keteng. To Minnesota. Kelu weru ailu na north, south, west, east.
Sarana.
Philadelphia. It unlock we
Log.
Keteng.
Taluna Tsai Bill. Golan Isaf Bill Tsai Bill Gef Gato.
Rut Alive.
Tsai Bill Not Viri Tsai Bill Gato.
Tam.
Tsai Bill
Strane,
Alu North,
strane.
South, East, West.
Stranik. Kef Geto.
Strane. Keo mum. Keo mum fkeet ook fuke.
Olil wel foot Kariu Paul Bolt Tsafia.
Tsunsloof sla na viru lu le u alu at erel kefjak. At sakr zena livu zena fketivok sef bil alu fkotsun kive fitsenge fu tsatsenge. Och det kaum kef gatok sa le u at sing alu east to south west north slef bilwel futa na firu lutsa sef bil kef ja
Strane. Lut Sasef Bill. Sasef Bill Geto. Rayatsunayoe.
fnu
Sekelueru Ke ele.
Swatsju.
Ke te kankem ke solio et anker taluna pedalt ewe nefet. Te stam svo we ketam.
kaum so strak
Slow that sound.
Kolano sets ongoilo. Ketsuno people enen up in the sunset.
Wedding the
Kezerak
day.
Kezerak wel Tatsangit Tsane Tsame wel Rolun Tat.
sake kolan sa te ein karju paule
Surana.
Kef bilwel futa stolan watsat slä tsunslufwa bolt sai le uti slä
Neo fui veo slag. Ke neo sakem alu typing CV. Da luna luwo.
tam o kauker get satsun piselt enina vi nilsan fiton sakr kaum svelut o ה-CCV ופודקסטרו.
Fwa wel fia or afgo people en in that be twola kauker ke ftolang people ftang weru people te
Peu, route aliven.
Kauker Gelunetam.
kauker ftang ke si weru fwa twola wel fia or people en in that be
Mood.
frakker mi vi
De FO.
Fwa fmid santen, kefjak.
strane
Flak efla
tiff
lees
mi
fmi.
franten
Ayale uking.
Ha.
Ha?
ha
Ne
Oh,
moensraak.
Fitte penko ha weru
Ha seilu.
Ha.
Ha!
strake
ha.
strake
Stanko.
peu strake engaru smon ral le ue alu ha
It's Strane.
fu twola
Gesmon where?
Som. Ha. Aha.
tanga
Lu.
Ketting, kefjak.
Slu.
Swat Philip Uti Alu Ha.
As. Hot slew fit suit complement inherently enhanced.
strane rolunga
OS.
follow nilsan
Well,
awe
Rana.
well, le upukid ha.
polam was an smon
Move
engaru
in.
nilam ke smon ngaru
Zero kwel hap e fe podcastie. Kolan hap e ti fe podcastie. Lauk lamauk I wel fili uti alu ha se ha. Kefjak? Zero ksra.
strane meme fit podcast leu
Spil wel futa au nga tun meme CV not san.
meme latsu
I'll nga lu meme you.
strane
Oelu Mimu Asiltsan Frato.
Omun wel futa Peu?
strake
Pamerixti.
strak
Stegoli.
Stira slä
Keskio
Pelunga lurtoksoli.
strane
Matute
lörtokseri frakker
Kestio Wekeng.
Jajair na au. Weri altu.
Wearing it dang and nifrakar.
strake tuteo fi podcast di Jerunese
Kespel wel safja taluna fraku holu jajair na au.
ftolang givune strak
Setsu no pivot luke fois pivel teri aisute ayune.
o tuteo aungat aioeti givune ha me discord de fpe Fettrut uparet Mitsiano alu iana mokri
Goed, en
ute pengai weru ftang. San ftang. Talun keyun natse kautul aiweti set.
We've to I weru ngea I mim ti aswe.
Srane, cakem CV. Cakem si to.
Kinwal mimit.
Sefpil we sapum to fet.
Wert o alivo o zene hivum talun o kefu nifpom sesp in latsu wer.
Zoslivu nuin. It's willet o iwe hasesi vi fil podcastur. Selsen.
Nafwa pamelt ewe.
Ha. Srane pimelt ngalza. With that said, we're going to end the podcast. Thank you for listening. As always, please be sure to check out the Learn Notfi Discord and join us in the community if you are interested in all things Avatar, which I assume you are if you made it this far into the podcast. That said, hi Elevite.
Bye.
Cool. We saved a lot of time on the hi Elevites this time by saying that